We are back, and I am joined with another wonderful guest. Tell them who you are, and we were just talking off camera that you're not actually working for.
I don't actually work for Ivy Tech. I actually work for the Indiana Commission for Higher Education.
Okay.
I am the North Central Regional Outreach Coordinator for the 21st Century Scholars Program, and I have been in that position for about 15 years, and continue to be because that program still thrives. But last summer, I got the opportunity to start working with the Howard County College and Career Success Coalition here in Howard County. And so I'm housed at Ivy Tech, but I wear a lot of different hats.
And can you break that down exactly what that is?
The Howard County College and Career Success Coalition is a statewide initiative from the Commission for Higher Education that seeks to encourage and develop and help communities support the students in their community that want to go to college.
Okay.
And to maintain that support. And we actually already had quite a bit of support in this community. For example, we have 31 members on the Howard County College Success Coalition right now.
Is that normal?
Actually, we are one of the strongest coalitions, yes.
Wow.
And businesses, education, churches, kind of the idea that you create a big net so that none of the kids are slipping through and you cover all your bases in the community. So that's basically what the Howard County College Success Coalition does.
And is there a certain type of student, or, I mean...
No, it's every student.
Okay.
Every student really needs this help.
And, you know, there are so many benefits. Can we go over those just a little bit of having that safety net that you were talking about?
Of having the safety net, yeah. Well, what happens is a lot of times students, I shouldn't say kids, students
Everybody's a kid at heart.
yeah, well, that's true. The Howard County College Success Coalition, and by the way, when I say college, I am not just referring to 4 years.
Sure.
And that's why we add the career in there, but every now and then you'll hear me slip up and I'll just say college. When we say college, we mean anything after high school that is putting you towards your goals in your future.
Sure.
So that can be a 2-year, a certificate, military, anything like that. But the College Success Coalition looked at the data in Howard County, and only 28% of the adults in Howard County have anything beyond a high school diploma.
Really?
Yeah, and the state average is 33. So not that that's anything to be terribly excited over, but we're not even up to the state average. So we know that more than 28% of our adults need to have some type of what they call post-secondary education. To that extent, you know we talk about college and we say to kids, you need to go to college. I think the coalition really wants to make sure that students not only understand that they should, but that they understand the how and the why.
Right.
So many people say, I want to go to college because I'll make more money. That is true on many levels. But that isn't the only reason. And there are a lot of good reasons that are better motivators. First of all, you are much more likely to get a job and much more likely to keep a job if you have some type of post-secondary education. The other thing is that, and this gets overlooked all the time, you get more choices. You know, our students complain about, I had to do it. When you get a college degree, you're essentially putting something in your hands that you can take anywhere in the world with you. And it is completely 100% yours. It doesn't get lost or destroyed in fires. It doesn't get lost in a settlement for a divorce hearing. It is absolutely 100% yours, and you've worked hard for it. And it opens doors for you that otherwise might not.
And as a sidebar, too, Ivy Tech is really on that cutting edge technology to take you across the world, like you were saying.
Yes.
You can literally pack your bags and pick your job.
Yes. With that degree.
The degree, yes. So with so many benefits, why aren't more people getting involved, I guess? Is that a good question?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I have been doing college access and success for about 16 years, working with the 21st Century Scholars Program. And I have heard every excuse possibly known to man. One of the big ones, though, is that students don't think they're good students and they don't want to go on for 4 more years of college. And again, that's that idea of not seeing it clearly.
Okay.
College doesn't have to be 4 more years. You can go out and get an amazing degree at Ivy Tech with 2 years. You can also go out to IU Kokomo and get a 4-year degree. You can take your degree at Ivy Tech for 2 years and turn it into a 4-year degree somewhere else. And not every single student that goes to college was an A-plus student. I mean, and many students who didn't do terribly well in high school find that they really find their niche in college. So that is a ridiculous excuse.
And I think that is a good stereotype that you brought up, because I've known a lot of my own friends that maybe they weren't the greatest. Maybe they were the C average, that when they jumped into college and all over the place, they found themselves A's. And they were so surprised, and genuinely I think that they get that push and they feel better, and then it just keeps going up from there.
But they have to start that process. And so to stand on the outside and say, I'm not ready, I'm not going to start, you know, it doesn't help. And the other excuse that we hear a lot is that, particularly around here, I don't need to go to college. My parents didn't need to go to college. They were able to get a job. And that was true at one time. However, we know that about 2/3 of the jobs in the future, particularly in Howard County, are going to need some type of a diploma, some type of certificate. But by far, the biggest excuse that we hear about not being able to go to college is that it's too expensive.
That was my next question.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's put that to rest a little bit. Can we talk a little bit about the financing and a little bit about the whole expense?
Yes. College can be expensive. That is true. But we all see those horror stories of the tuition hiking up, and that does happen. Tuition can be outrageous at some schools. In Howard County, we could not be more fortunate. We have 2 quality, affordable institutions just a mile down the road from each other. So I would think that Ivy Tech and IUK are a viable option for almost any student in Howard County.
Absolutely. And surrounding communities.
And surrounding communities, yes. Yeah, even beyond Howard County. But, you know, in addition to that, it does cost. It still is going to cost some money. And many students who should do not file the FAFSA, which stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid.
Okay.
And that is a form that you file every year by March 10th. In order to kind of put your, you put your information into the computer. It's an online system. You put it in, the federal government puts it into this terribly complicated math formula, which no one really understands. And then it comes out with a number, that says, this is what we think that you can afford to pay for college. So then conversely, this is what you're going to need in money to go to college. And that is the way that you can get some money to go to college if you otherwise think that you might not be able to afford it.
Okay, we're going to be more into this just a little bit more right after this break. We are back, and we are talking about FAFSA. Did I say that right?
Yes. Yes.
Should everyone fill it out?
Absolutely, everybody. Okay. I would say, first of all, every high school senior in Howard County, and even any adult who is thinking, you know, maybe graduated a couple years ago or 10 years ago, 30 years ago, and is thinking about going to go back to college. Everyone should fill out the FAFSA. A lot of people think I'm not eligible for any money because we make too much, and that is just not true. Most usually, anybody who files the FAFSA is going to find that they could be eligible for some type of aid, because there's a wide range on full need or partial need, or, you know, just a little bit of need. The other thing is that you can't get federal loans without having filled out the FAFSA. And a lot of schools, they want to even see your FAFSA before they start awarding scholarships. So there really isn't any good logical reason for anybody not to be filling out the FAFSA.
Is that including students who maybe have skipped a few years and are rejoining the college career?
Yes, yes. And that is why that March 10th deadline is so crucial. When you file the FAFSA on March 10th, and you have to do that every single year while you're in school, you file the FAFSA on March 10th, and that is for the money the following fall and spring.
Okay.
So, you know, sometimes kids in March are saying, I'm not going to school in the fall, there's no way. And then around about late July, they see everybody packing up, and they see that their friends are not going to be around, and they say, ew, wait a minute, I think I really should have gone after all. You can still get some aid by filing the FAFSA at that point, but you get maximum aid by filing by that March 10th deadline. So that's why we encourage every single high school, college senior, every single high school student to do it, and every college student to do it, to make sure that they keep their aid going throughout college.
And you kind of touched on it a little bit. You have to do it all the time. Every
year by March 10th. But it just, honestly, it just keeps getting easier. It used to be this paper form that was, I think, like 8 pages long. Now it's online. It's very user-friendly. Yes, it is online. It takes about 30 minutes to complete. Most people can complete it totally by themselves. But here in Howard County, because the coalition has kind of taken up promoting the FAFSA filing as part of our mission, so to speak.
Which is really good.
Yes, yeah, because a lot of people don't even know what it means. And when you have a FAFSA, that doesn't mean anything to anybody.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, college is overwhelming enough.
Right.
Going back to school, whether it be right out of high school or after a certain amount of time, that's overwhelming.
That's overwhelming. And there's all those other things, the application, preparing, you know, all of that's going on. So what we have on February 24th from 2 to 4 is College Goals Sunday, and that is statewide. Many counties, areas have College Goals Sunday. We are very fortunate to have IUK hosting this year. and that is February 24th from 2 to 4 in the Kelly Center. You don't need to make an appointment. You just show up with your taxes, 2012 preferably. You can sit down on a computer. You can file the FAFSA, submit it, print it completely with any help that you may need from financial aid people kind of roaming behind you. That is an option if you need help. I think IUK has some other workshops.
Sure.
And I know that both Ivy Tech and IUK's financial aid office will help anybody who needs help with their FAFSA.
Now, does it
Sometimes it's
cost?
just a question. No, because
Okay.
the first F in FAFSA is free. So the FAFSA does not cost to fill out, and none of the help should help. None of the help should cost in order to fill that out. That is a scam issue. Some people try to scam on that and take you to other websites where they say, we'll fill out your FAFSA for you and you don't have to do it for $30. And that is a scam. Everything about the FAFSA is free, including all of the help that you can get to fill it out.
And this is also a good way to put another stereotype to bed as well, that IUK and Ivy Tech truly are partners.
Truly, yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, the steering committee for the Howard County College Success Coalition has to have one representative from a college. And for the first year of the coalition, which was last year, we had one of the admissions financial aid reps from IUK. And this year, we've taken a financial aid admissions rep from Ivy Tech, and work very well together to make sure, because we all ultimately want the same thing.
Absolutely.
We want an educated workforce in Howard County. We want our young people to succeed and to feel like they're succeeding. And unfortunately, last year, only about 35 to 40% of the high school graduates here in Howard County filled out the FAFSA.
Wow.
Which is not really a good number, because Kokomo High School alone is over 50% free and reduced lunch. So those are kids that we know are eligible for aid. And I think, as I mentioned before, even people who are not at that low income level, they still may be eligible for aid. So
and it's worth that shot just to find out.
Well, it's like the lottery. You don't win if you don't play.
Absolutely.
You cannot get the money if you don't file. And if you don't file by that March 10th deadline, you have to do it by the March 10th deadline.
Now, is there something that students in high school can do to prepare the seniors? Is there something that they can do to prepare?
Yes, there are a lot of things that preparation can begin in kindergarten.
Absolutely.
And I would even argue before. There is a great website, which is learnmoreindiana.org. The coalition uses a lot of their resources. They kind of frame everything into some categories like plan, prepare, and pay.
Okay.
And that is to help college-bound students, to help parents who are trying to get their second grader to take school seriously, to begin to look at what are the steps I can do each year to move my student towards academic success, or success in their future. The Learn More website is particularly important too, because it has the college cost estimator on it. So for parents who are freaking out with their freshmen thinking 4 years tuition's going to raise and there's no way we can afford this, you can actually plug into your information much like you do the FAFSA, and it kind of gives you a sample of what you could expect it to cost, what you could expect in financial aid, and a good profile of all the colleges as well.
And can I throw a scenario at you just real quick? I know.
Maybe.
Let's just say I might not be in that middle class income, but it might be a lower middle class income. But my parents and grandparents, for birthdays and things, started that education fund, the IRA. Now, does that take into account when it comes to this, or?
You mean saving as far as
will it affect how much I qualify for?
When it comes to the FAFSA, the student assets, the assets that are in the student's name, like savings accounts that are in the student's name, they count more heavily towards money that the government believes that you could use because you're a student.
Sure.
What else do you have to do with your money but use that all for college? So parent assets, it's usually better to have money in the parent name.
In the parent's name.
Yeah. But one of the things, and the Learn More website explains this very well, as does Indiana College Cost Estimator, is the 529 plans, which are actually are counted as a parent asset, but they are specifically used for a student for college. And there's a lot
for higher education.
For higher education. Yes, anything like that. And there's a lot more to those than what I even know. But those websites really detail that really well. And how you can save for college, how you can prepare. It's really a three-pronged effort. It's not just paying for it. You also have to be academically prepared.
Sure.
You also have to plan ahead and think about what you want to do, what you might want to do, what would be the least objectionable job you would want to have in your life. And that's where having that education comes into play.
And doing your homework.
Really. the daily act of doing your homework.
Because it does go beyond just the textbooks. It's a matter of making sure you are prepared in all aspects of this.
Yes. And we tell students often, you have to work. You have to have a job. Wouldn't you like to do something that you enjoy doing every day?
Every day.
Than something that you have to do every day just to get that paycheck. You get the paycheck either way.
Right.
But, boy, it makes it much easier if you get up and you love your job.
It truly does make a big difference.
Yes.
Okay, now if they want to get involved or they have any questions, what do they need to do?
They're definitely welcome to get on that learnmoreindiana.org website. They're also welcome to contact me. My offices are at Ivy Tech, and I help students all across my region, all across, which includes more than Howard County. So anybody who has questions about college access, about career choice, about financial aid, you are more than welcome to call me, and I can get you headed in the right direction.
Thank you so much. We're going to have even more from Ivy Tech right after this.